1, 2, 3, twende. Falja. 1992. Martha ameingia kwa siasa. 2027 yeye ni rais. Funga. Fungua. Asante.
Asante sana MC na kila mtu, hiyo imenikumbusha enzi ya Nyayo. Hiyo makofi ya kufunga na kufungua. That's a nice throwback, and it is such a pleasure to see you all. The book launch would not be without you. I can't talk to myself about the book. Even if a few friends came to make the panel, we can't talk to ourselves. Thank you, each one of you. I know there will be a vote of thanks, but I feel compelled to also acknowledge that you've made it to make this day happen. I am beyond words for my teachers of yesteryears who have made it today for this launch. Mrs. Michira, I really loved her history lessons, and Mrs. Mwaura too. Mr. Gomez has already said, so when I say I love dancing, when I'm asked what are my hobbies, you have heard now from my teacher that this habit started a long time ago. I think since there is that video where I'm already talking, and I've talked at the panel, I'm wondering what else is there to say, but to recognize each one of you. Waheshimiwa, my friends, I can see you, Gathoni wa Mushomba. We are proud of the work you do. I can see my friend Millie, otherwise known as Geza Geza. A dear friend whose book we launched on the 1st of October. I can see my women rep, Kirinyaga, Honorable Jane Minor. Very proud of you, Jane, and very proud of you, Millie. Millie was a little girl when I got to know her. She had just started practicing. And here she is now, a very strong woman and a role model to many in her right. The work that you do, mentoring is not just sitting across somebody and showing them what to do. It's also what you do and other people watching you do it. I'm so happy to see my age mate and year mate in college, Dr. Mukisa Kitui. And Link Kitui. We not only went to college together, we went to parliament together and to government together. And we are still going strong in politics. My dear friend Zipi Kitonyi, Mheshimiwa, nakuona. You are all my honored guests. If I mention you one by one, and I can see the First Lady of CII, Betty Morungi. I must utter your title. It is real. Seated alongside strong women, sandwiched by strong women, Jane Kirago and Amdani, Daisy Amdani, whom I call my daughter because her mom was such a good friend. I could mention each one of you. Mheshimiwa Mwirori, nimekuona. Do not think that my eyes have missed you. But you are all honored people, and I truly feel blessed that you have come to this launch today. I won't say much because my story says it all. This is our country. When we share with each other, we affirm each other. And we have to talk about things happening the mess there is, and to remember that it is us who are going to work and clear that mess. Nobody else will do it for us. And we have to do it together. And by coming together, whether it's a book launch, a wedding, whatever we can share together so that we encourage one another. And I do hope sincerely that the book will encourage you. It will also give you areas where you say, no, 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 this one, no. So you will avoid the mistakes that I made. And you will know that beyond the people you see on stage, it's normal human beings just like you and the person next door. So without going beyond that, I want to first call a dear friend who held my hand through this journey and who represents an organization that helped the writing of this book. And before I call her, I'll tell you, writing is not easy. I first wanted somebody to do it without my involvement. And therefore, I got support for research, and I got a ghostwriter. You sit down, you dictate, you tell, but putting down your thoughts may not always resonate with you when it comes back. But if they had not started, I would never have finished. In the middle, I got others to try, because my initial writer was not Kenyan. I thought maybe the connection is getting lost because of the background. You get somebody else, then you feel it is now beginning to take shape. Eventually, I had to bite the bullet and sit down and go through every chapter. I don't want to say it's all my work, because those who started laid the foundation, but it's a cumulative effort. And it took, I didn't want to say the time, but my people have already let the cat out of the bag. It took about 9 years, because you write, you let it stay in the back room, then you wake up and you think about it again, and you start writing. But for some reason, during the demonstrations of Azimio last year, we would come from cooler tear gas, and I would feel inspired to sit and do a chapter. It's just a funny thing. And eventually, that's how we are where we are. But I want to recognize Frederick Norman Foundation, and in particular, my dear friend, Inge, who is the head of FNF in Africa, based in South Africa. We liaise even with the Kenya office, but the South Africa office, before the Kenya office came to be, are the ones who held my hand through this wonderful friend of mine, Inge. Inge, come to the stage and say a few words.